The African savanna does not sleep. It breathes beneath the golden sun, whispers through the dry grass, and remembers every footprint left behind by kings, hunters, and survivors. Here, the Serengeti becomes a river of life. The Masai Mara becomes a theater of courage. The Okavango becomes a mirror where beauty and danger drink from the same water. But what truly rules this land? Is it strength, speed, hunger, or fear? Like us, every creature here carries something invisible. A cheetah fears the moment her speed is no longer enough. A zebra fears losing the rhythm of the herd. A hyena fears being misunderstood, yet survives where others fall. And the wildebeest, born into dust and thunder, teaches us that life is not about standing still, but moving forward. In Africa, survival is not a choice, it is a promise. Welcome to Nature's Animals. What does it mean to be the fastest creature on land, yet still live as one of the most fragile hunters of the African savanna? At first glance, the cheetah seems like nature's perfect weapon. Its body is narrow and lightweight, its legs are long and elastic, its spine bends like a living bow, and its tail moves like a rudder cutting through the wind. In just a few seconds, it can explode across the grasslands at more than 110 kilometers per hour, covering nearly 7 meters in a single stride. But in the savanna, speed is not freedom, speed is a countdown. As dawn opens over the golden plains, a female cheetah rises from the shadow of an acacia tree. The grass is still wet with morning breath, and far ahead a small group of gazelles begins to graze. She does not roar like a lion. She does not command the land with brute force. She lowers her body, lets the grass hide her spotted coat, and moves forward like a thought that has not yet been spoken. Every step is silence, every muscle is waiting. The savanna watches her as if the land itself knows that in a few moments life will be decided by distance, timing, and one perfect burst of speed. The cheetah is built for acceleration, not endurance. Its semi-retractable claws grip the earth like the spikes of a runner's shoes. Its enlarged nostrils, lungs, and heart pull oxygen through the body with terrifying efficiency. Its flexible spine stretches and contracts like a spring, allowing 4 strides every second. But this miracle has a cost. A chase can only last a short distance before heat exhaustion and oxygen debt begin to close around the animal. If the cheetah fails in those few seconds, it cannot simply try again. It must stop, breathe, recover, and watch the prey disappear into the open plain. And even victory is not always victory. Unlike lions or leopards, cheetahs are not powerful fighters. Their lighter skulls, smaller teeth, and slender frames serve speed, not battle. A successful hunt can be stolen by hyenas, lions, or even vultures if the cheetah is too tired to defend it. Here, nature reverses our expectation. The fastest is not always the strongest, and the most beautiful design can also be the most vulnerable weakness. A mother cheetah carries an even heavier burden. After a gestation of about 93 days, she may give birth to 1 to 6 cubs, but in some regions as many as 90% of cubs do not survive. Lions, hyenas, eagles, hunger and habitat loss turn childhood into a narrow bridge over death. The cubs learn by watching their mother stalk, sprint, fail, and rise again. Like human children learning from a parent under pressure, they inherit not only skills but fear, patience, and the will to continue. Today, cheetahs face a danger greater than any single predator. Habitat loss, prey decline, human conflict, and fragmented migration corridors are shrinking the open spaces they need to hunt and survive. A cheetah does not only need speed, it needs room to run. That is the tragedy and beauty of this animal. The cheetah teaches us that success is not measured by how fast we move, but by whether we understand the limits of our own strength. In the African savanna, speed is a gift, but survival is wisdom. Yet while the cheetah teaches us that speed can become a beautiful limitation, the zebra teaches a different truth of the African savanna: no creature survives alone. Across the open grasslands where sunlight falls like fire on the dry earth, and every shadow may hide a hunter, the zebra does not carry the silence of a predator. It carries the rhythm of a family. Its hooves strike the ground like a heartbeat shared by many bodies, and its black and white stripes move through the golden grass like living brushstrokes painted by nature itself. At first glance, the zebra seems simple, almost peaceful, just another grazer beneath the endless African sky. But in the savanna, peace is often only the thin skin stretched over. The plains zebra, known scientifically as Equus quagga, is one of Africa's most recognizable herbivores. An adult can stand about 1.3 to 1.5 meters tall at the shoulder and weigh between 218 and 450 kilograms, a strong body built not for conquest, but for endurance, alertness, and sudden escape. Its ears turn constantly, listening for the low breath of lions, the distant laughter of hyenas, or the splash of crocodiles waiting near muddy riverbanks. Its eyes are placed on the sides of the head, giving it a wide field of vision, because for a prey animal, seeing danger early can mean the difference between life and death. Every stripe on its body is unique, like a fingerprint. Yet when the herd runs together, those stripes blur into confusion, making it harder for predators to isolate one target. At dawn, a mare stands beside her newborn foal. The little one is only hours old, its legs thin and uncertain, its body still learning the language of balance. A zebra pregnancy can last around 12 to 14 months, and usually only one foal is born. At birth, that foal may already weigh 25 to 40 kilograms, but weight does not mean safety. In the first days of life, weakness has a scent, and the savannah knows how to find it. The mother keeps close, placing her body between the foal and the world, while the stallion watches the edges of the herd like a guardian at the gate of a fragile kingdom. Then the grass shifts. A lioness appears where there was only shadow. For one frozen second, the herd becomes a question. Run, scatter, protect, survive. The zebras explode into motion, not as individuals, but as a moving wall of fear and instinct. The foal stumbles, the mother turns, and the herd bends around them like a living shield. This is the zebra's greatest lesson. It is not the fastest animal, it is not the strongest. But it understands something deeply human. Family is not only love, sometimes family is survival. And here the old judgment is reversed. The zebra is not merely prey waiting to die. It is a survivor wearing vulnerability like armor. Its kick can break bone, its vigilance can save a herd, and its loyalty can turn panic into protection. Yet even this ancient rhythm is under pressure. Though plain zebras still number in the hundreds of thousands, their populations have declined in many parts of their range as grasslands shrink. Migration routes are disturbed and competition with livestock increases. In the African savanna, the zebra reminds us that survival is not always a crown worn by the powerful. Sometimes it is a bond. Sometimes it is a mother refusing to leave her young behind. Sometimes it is the courage to stay with the herd when fear tells you to run alone. Night changes the law of the savanna. When the golden grass loses its color and the last zebras fade into the darkness, a different voice begins to rise from the plains. It is not the roar of a lion nor the thunder of hooves, but a broken, laughing cry that seems to come from the earth itself. For many, that sound means danger. For others, it means death has already arrived. But the hyena is not simply the shadow that follows the hunt. It is one of Africa's most intelligent survivors, a creature judged by its laughter, yet shaped by disciplined power and an ancient hunger to belong. The spotted hyena, known scientifically as Crocuta crocuta, is the largest and most social of the hyena species. An adult can weigh from about 40 to more than 80 kilograms, with females often larger and more dominant than males. Its shoulders stand higher than its hips, giving it that strange sloping shape as if the animal is always leaning forward into conflict. Its jaws are among the strongest in the mammal world, capable of crushing bones that many predators leave behind. With teeth built to break a stomach, able to digest skin, bone, and marrow, and a clan structure that can include dozens of individuals, the hyena is not a mistake of nature. It is nature's answer to survival after the feast is over. On a cold morning near the edge of the herd, a young hyena waits beside its mother. The clan has spent the night moving through the grass, listening, smelling, testing the air like detectives reading an invisible story. In the distance, zebras gather tightly around their young, and the memory of the previous chase still trembles in the dust. The hyena watches them not with mindless cruelty, but with calculation. Every weakness matters. Every limp, every separation, every moment of panic becomes a possible opening. This is where the connection between predator and prey becomes clear. The zebra survives by staying with the herd. The hyena survives by finding the one who falls away from it. But here nature reverses our old belief. Hyenas are often called cowards, thieves, scavengers, creatures that laugh at death and steal what stronger hunters have earned. Yet this image is only half the truth. In many African ecosystems, spotted hyenas hunt much of their own food using cooperation, endurance, and strategy. Their clans are complex societies ruled largely by females, where rank determines feeding order, mating chances, and survival itself. A cub is not born into softness. After a gestation of about 110 days, it enters a world where siblings compete, mothers defend status, and every lesson is written in hunger. Like humans living under judgment, the hyena carries the burden of being misunderstood. Its laughter is not comedy, it is communication. Its aggression is not evil, it is pressure. Its scavenging is not shameful, it is ecological service. By consuming carcasses and bones, hyenas help clean the savanna, recycling death back into life. They are not outside the circle of nature. They are one of the reasons the circle keeps turning. And yet even the great survivor is not untouchable. Habitat loss, conflict with livestock owners, shrinking wild spaces, and human fear continue to threaten hyena populations in parts of their range. The animal that can face lions, crack bone, and endure hunger still struggles against the one force it cannot outbite: a changing world. The hyena teaches us that survival is not always beautiful, and strength is not always admired. Sometimes the world misunderstands the ones who fight hardest to remain standing. In the African savanna, the hyena is not the villain of the story. It is the proof that even the rejected can become masters of survival. And when the night of the hyena fades, the savanna does not grow quiet. It begins to tremble. Far across the Serengeti, beyond the sleeping lions, beyond the restless zebras, beyond the last echo of a predator's call, a dark tide starts to move across the grasslands. At first, it looks like a shadow spreading over the earth. Then the shadow becomes bodies, the bodies become hooves, and the hooves become thunder. This is the wildebeest, the restless traveler of Africa, a creature that does not survive by hiding from fear, but by walking straight through it. The blue wildebeest, known scientifically as Conochaetes taurinus, is not built with the elegance of the cheetah or the striking beauty of the zebra. Its heavy head, curved horns, sloping back, and dark beard give it the appearance of an animal assembled from several different stories. Yet this strange body is perfectly designed for endurance. An adult can weigh well over 100 kilograms, stand more than 1 meter at the shoulder, and run at speeds of up to about 80 kilometers per hour when danger erupts from the grass. It feeds mainly on short grasses following rain, as if the sky itself were writing a map across the land. Every year, more than 1.5 million wildebeest move in a vast loop through the Serengeti and Masai Mara ecosystem, joined by zebras and gazelles in one of the greatest land migrations on Earth. This journey is not a parade. It is a test repeated by generations. They cross dry plains, predator territories, and rivers where Nile crocodiles wait beneath the brown water like ancient traps with eyes. The wildebeest does not migrate because it is brave. It migrates because staying behind can be even more dangerous than moving forward. On the southern plains, a calf is born into noise and dust. After a gestation of around 8.5 months, the mother gives birth to a single young, and within minutes the calf struggles to stand. Its legs shake like thin branches in the wind, but the herd cannot pause for tenderness. Lions are watching, hyenas are listening. Vultures are already circling above the weak. The mother nudges the calf forward, not with cruelty, but with the oldest lesson of the savanna life, begins by learning how not to be left behind. Here all the stories connect. The cheetah fears the moment speed is no longer enough. The zebra fears losing the herd. The hyena fears being misunderstood by the world. But the wildebeest fears stopping because stopping can mean thirst, hunger, separation, or death. Like humans moving through hardship, it does not always know what waits beyond the next river. It only knows that the path behind can no longer feed it. And yet this ancient rhythm is becoming more fragile. Migration depends on open land flowing rivers, seasonal rain, and safe corridors between grazing grounds. When fences, farms, roads, drought, and human pressure break these pathways, they do not simply block animals. They interrupt memory itself, the inherited map carried in millions of hooves. So the wildebeest leaves us with the final truth of the African savanna. Survival is not always about being the fastest, the strongest, the most beautiful, or the most feared. Sometimes survival belongs to those who continue when the road is dangerous, when the river is full of teeth, and when the future is hidden behind dust. In the wild, life does not promise safety. It only calls the living forward. Because nature does not reward only the strongest. It remembers those who endure. The lion may lose its kingdom, the elephant may walk for days without water, and the wildebeest may cross rivers filled with waiting jaws, yet they continue moving forward. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson the wild can offer us. Survival is not the absence of fear, pain, or loss. It is the courage to keep walking despite them. As the sun disappears beyond the horizon and darkness slowly covers the plains, the animals continue their journey into the unknown. And somewhere within the silence of the wilderness, one truth remains.
With tireless legs, the wildebeest surge forward like a wild tempest, a relentless wave crashing across the Serengeti. They do not simply run, they charge, reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. They do not stop, do not hesitate, do not look back. Across thousands of kilometers, they traverse scorched lands where the dry season's heat burns through to the bone. They face lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, silent predators lurking in the shadows, waiting for the weakest to fall behind. But their greatest threat does not prowl the grasslands. It waits beneath the surface of the Mara River, hidden, patient, and deadly. When the wildebeest reach the raging river, they stand at the fragile boundary between survival and annihilation. They hesitate, glancing at one another, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. Then one leaps. In an instant, the dam breaks. Thousands follow, surging forward like a living tempest, a churning storm of bodies and hooves crashing into the water. Panic erupts, hooves slam against the current, desperate cries pierce the air, and beneath the darkened surface, monstrous jaws wait. Each year, thousands of wildebeest are claimed by the river, lost to its depths, dragged under by the merciless grip of the Nile crocodiles that lurk below. But the herd does not stop, because in their world, stopping has never been an option. And when the survivors emerge on the other side, they do not pause, they do not rest, they do not hesitate, because in their world, stopping is when fate delivers its final blow. Beside them, the zebras march on, their sharp eyes scanning the horizon. With vision keener than the wildebeest, they become the sentinels of the migration, spotting lions from afar and sounding the alarm with piercing, echoing whinnies. They never move alone. If one senses danger, the entire herd knows. In this endless journey, awareness is survival, and unity is their greatest shield. On the vast savanna, another predator is watching their every move. The cheetah, the ruler of speed, a deadly ghost gliding on the wind. While lions hunt in prides and hyenas rely on pack strategy, the cheetah is a lone predator, an assassin in silence. It does not wait in the shadows for hours like the lion, nor does it need numbers to overpower its prey like the hyena. All it takes is a few seconds, a handful of strides, and a single precise strike. In the blink of an eye, the chase is over. Through the dust-filled air of the Serengeti, the cheetah's piercing gaze locks onto its target, a lone calf separated from the herd. Its heartbeat quickens, muscles coiling like a loaded spring, every fiber of its being trembling with raw power. Then it launches. In the blink of an eye, the silent plains erupt into a frenzy. The cheetah surges forward, accelerating to a staggering 120 kilometers per hour, faster than any creature on land. Its razor-sharp claws dig into the earth, propelling its body forward like a living arrow, cutting through the wind, closing the distance with terrifying precision. But the cheetah cannot linger. It has only minutes to catch its breath before the hyenas and vultures spot its kill. Speed is its greatest weapon, but not its greatest strength. On the Serengeti, the fastest predator is not the most powerful, and even the deadliest hunter can become the hunted if it hesitates. So it eats quickly, tearing into its hard-earned meal with urgency. Then before the shadows stretch too long, before the scavengers close in, it vanishes, disappearing into the swirling dust, leaving nothing behind but silence. Once again, the Serengeti is swallowed by the night. This journey is not for the weak. In the unforgiving lands of the Serengeti, only the smartest, the strongest, and the most adaptable have a chance to survive. As the last of the herd emerges from the raging Mara River, their breath still ragged, their bodies trembling from the terror they barely escaped. They pause, just for a moment. They scan their surroundings, and for the first time in weeks, what lies ahead is not danger, but promise. Masai Mara unfolds before them like an oasis in the wilderness, where fresh green grass, reborn from the rains, stretches endlessly like a velvet carpet, a sanctuary calling to the weary travelers. After hundreds of kilometers under the scorching sun, after escaping the jaws of relentless predators and braving the deadly waters of the Mara, they have finally arrived. Here, the weary mothers can pause, seeking a safe place to give birth, while the newborns take their first steps, learning to walk, to run, to prepare for the journey they were born to make. But Masai Mara is not the final destination. It is only a temporary sanctuary. When the grasslands are grazed bare, when the winds whisper the return of the dry season, the call of instinct beckons them once more. The journey must continue. And so, the endless cycle continues. They must return to Serengeti, once again braving the trials of nature, once again gambling their fate against the dangers that await. In this untamed land, there is no eternal rest. Only the strong move forward, and the weak are left behind. But Masai Mara is no eternal paradise. The final rains have fallen, the waters begin to recede, and the once lush grasslands wither under the merciless heat of the dry season. Once again, the herd is faced with the only choice nature ever gives them: leave or be left behind. Wildebeest, zebras, gazelles. As if hearing an invisible call echoing through their very blood, they know the journey never truly ends. It only quiets before surging forward once more. As the first hooves strike the cracked earth, the rest follow without hesitation, merging into a surging tide of life, flowing southward, back to Serengeti, where the brutal cycle will begin again. The calves born just months ago are now strong enough to charge forward, stepping into the path their ancestors have walked for millions of years. But within the herd, not all will continue. The old, the wounded, the young too weak to keep pace. They fall behind, their steps growing slower, their fate all but sealed, and they know, the herd knows. Behind them, the darkness waits. Cheetahs, lions, hyenas. Their eyes have been on the skies, watching, waiting for the rains to fade. Now the hunt begins anew. They do not migrate. They do not flee. They simply wait, because they know the great wheel of survival will turn once more, and soon their feast will return. And so, like an ancient curse etched into the vast savanna, the Great Migration begins once more. Millions of lives march forward, their journey repeating like an endless symphony, echoing through generations that have never known rest. Because in this world, there is no final destination, only those strong enough to move forward, and those forever left behind on the path. Once Serengeti was a boundless wilderness, a kingdom without borders, where the great herds moved freely, guided only by the eternal rhythms of nature. But the world has changed. Roads now carve through the grasslands, dividing what was once whole. Gunfire echoes in the night, shattering the silence. And so the endless journey is no longer just a migration. It has become a battle for survival. But hope has never faded. The governments of Tanzania and Kenya are fighting to protect Serengeti and Masai Mara, safeguarding the migration routes that have existed for millions of years. New lands are being added to the map, protected areas expanding, like unseen pathways that allow the herds to keep moving forward. At the same time, sustainable ecotourism is becoming part of the solution. Limiting safari vehicles, using renewable energy, reducing plastic waste, all efforts to restore Serengeti to its untamed glory. No matter what humans do, the Great Migration will always be a battle. No wildebeest, no zebra is ever allowed to stop. Instinct is etched into their very being: move forward or be left behind. Every stride is a gamble with nature. Every river crossing is a brush with death. But no matter the danger, no matter how many years this journey stretches on, as long as the grasslands remain green, as long as the rivers keep flowing, as long as people continue to protect them, Serengeti will forever witness the greatest journey on Earth. The cycle of survival continues, as it always has, etched into every heartbeat of the African savanna. The herds continue their journey, but for how many more seasons before it all becomes a distant memory? When grasslands are paved over, when rivers run dry, when the great herds grow fewer and fewer under the weight of time, will we be left with nothing but history books, mere records of a natural wonder that once was? But there is still hope. Protecting Serengeti is not just about saving a land. It is about preserving the heartbeat of nature, safeguarding one of Earth's greatest masterpieces. This is not just a battle for the herds, it is our responsibility. We, as humans, have the power to choose change. What will you do to ensure that the thunderous hoofbeats never fade into silence? What will you do to keep Serengeti from becoming nothing more than a memory on film? You can make a difference. Support conservation efforts. Choose responsible ecotourism. Reduce human impact on this delicate ecosystem. Every small action today is a step toward ensuring that Serengeti lives on, that future generations will still witness the Great Migration with their own eyes. The choice is ours. The time is now. Will you help keep this miracle alive? Will Serengeti continue to echo with the thunder of life, or will silence be all that remains? The answer is in our hands. Species such as bobcats and gray foxes constantly roam in search of food, while also evading even more dangerous predators like the golden eagle, a powerful bird capable of diving at incredible speeds to take down its prey in an instant. In this harsh battle for survival, each species has its own unique strategy. Some rely on speed and agility, while others take advantage of stealth and expert hunting techniques. Yosemite's nature is not just a peaceful landscape, it is a wild stage where the laws of survival govern every aspect of life. Summer not only breathes new life into Yosemite's nature, but also marks a period of intense competition among wildlife. As food becomes more essential than ever, predators must expand their territories and utilize every skill to survive. In the harsh midday sun of Yosemite, when everything seems to be seeking shelter from the scorching heat, a shadow silently glides through the tall grass. The bobcat. Without the shadow of night to hide, this small but dangerous leopard moves with an eerie calm. Don't let its small stature fool you. Its eyes are razor sharp, its fur is mottled with rocks, and it weaves through the bushes like a ghost in broad daylight. Measuring just 3 feet long and weighing less than 33 pounds, the bobcat is a true killer, fast, agile, and ruthless. The slightest noise is enough for it to change direction, change tactics, stalk its prey like a master of stealth. And when the opportunity comes, it darts out like a living arrow, delivering a fatal pounce that leaves its victim unable to scream. But in this forest, the bobcat is not the only predator. When a meal is just about to begin, the coyote sometimes appears, pitting the bobcat against its will and survival. So what keeps this mysterious cat alive among bigger, stronger creatures? Perhaps the answer lies in its false peace. Would you dare follow the footsteps of this invisible predator? Meanwhile, the gray fox, an incredibly intelligent and agile animal, takes an entirely different approach. Not only is it skilled at hunting on the ground, but it also possesses the rare ability to climb trees, a unique trait among fox species. This allows it to easily reach bird nests for eggs or take advantage of natural food sources like fruits growing on trees. The adaptations and distinct survival strategies of each species create an intense yet fascinating competition within Yosemite's untamed wilderness. As the foliage in Yosemite turns vibrant shades of yellow, orange, and red, signaling the arrival of autumn, nature begins its transition in preparation for the harsh winter ahead. This is the time when wildlife must adapt to ensure their survival during the cold months to come. The mule deer, one of the most common herbivores in the park, begins migrating to lower elevations to find food more easily. With large ears and keen hearing, they can detect predators from a distance and often travel in groups to increase their chances of survival. As night falls over Yosemite, the wind howls through the towering trees, and then a lone howl echoes through the wilderness. The coyote has arrived. Unlike the elusive bobcat or the pack-dependent wolf, the coyote is a solitary survivor, roaming across meadows, forests, and sheer cliffs. Its eyes glow in the darkness, ears perk to catch the faintest rustle. This is the silent enemy of every small creature in the wild. Agile, cunning, and impossible to predict, the coyote can hunt alone, steal meals from others, or strike when least expected. But that boldness often brings it face to face with Yosemite's other deadly players, from bobcats and mountain lions to even humans. And in those moments, one tiny misstep could turn the hunter into the hunted. Would you dare follow in the footsteps of Yosemite's craftiest predator? The chase begins the moment you think you're safe. Not only coyotes, but black bears are also actively foraging, taking advantage of the last moments before winter to store up energy. They seek out fruits, nuts, and even small prey to build up the fat reserves necessary for hibernation. The entire forest comes alive with the movement of wildlife, as every creature prepares for the challenging winter ahead.
But today it is only a student of survival. Every failed chase, every misstep, every awkward lesson beneath the watchful eyes of the pride becomes part of its education. A lion cub is not born as a king. It is shaped by failure. In the open grasslands, hunting is not instinct alone. It is science written through muscle, timing, and experience. Lions rely on coordination, stealth, explosive acceleration, and learned judgment. But for a cub, these skills do not arrive fully formed. They are earned through mistakes. The cub must learn when to wait, when to move, when to follow, and when to stop. Its greatest fear is not the enemy outside the pride. Its greatest fear is failure itself. Because in the wild, failure is not embarrassing. Failure is dangerous. A missed lesson can mean hunger. A wrong movement can expose weakness. A cub that does not learn quickly may never grow into the title it was born to inherit. And yet this is where Africa reverses our first